Hey everyone, so this is something many people won't um, have experienced themselves, and many as well would relate to this way I'm about to say it. Um, because in a period I was like alone, but not alone. I had my dog, I had my mom with me, um, but I didn't see other people for a long time. Really, I went outside sometimes, but just to go to the kiosk or whatever. And well, ever since I remember, I was like 12 years old, I think. And the thought came to me for the first time that I want to, I don't know, I can say masturbate. I want to masturbate. And I was like, back then, I remember it clearly. I was like, I don't really want to search on the net on Google on girls, But what I wanted was to try it, not to try to see if I could, if my body was ready, to surprise, you know, and yeah, that's when it started. Oh, I have to pause. Yeah, so and well, that's when it began. Okay. What I noticed really, like, it was like kind of wild because I went outside, the sun was shining, and I saw this. What's the right word? Like, gorgeous woman, but I saw her with my own perspective of presence in the now, and not the uh what's it called, even, when women and penises, and a beautiful masculine body. So it's kind of the same, I guess, but gets objectified. And boys and girls, young teens, older as well, if they don't change, have lived like that, and maybe some are living like that still. There are. Okay, I remember in my school, it was second grade, I think. I remember this girl's name. I remember this girl. I was like, should I say her name? And I was like, no. But I remember this girl, and she was, shy. A little shy. She wasn't. The boys wasn't so interested in her. I was observing everything always, like, just by being, so to speak. But I became disgusted by the other boys, like 12 years old, 13 years old, younger, maybe 11, I think, maybe 10 years old, I'm not sure, but really, they were so, they only wanted to be nice with the girls. They had these hidden intentions, um, and one day this girl, she got her boobs from the first time. For the first time and only time, but she got them. And I remember how she just got intention from everyone. And me, having been introduced to those vibrations, feelings, sexual immaturity, objectifying, all that kind of stuff, I could relate. Like, that part of me wanted to be part of it. It's really black and white said. It's the part that wanted to fit in, was being manipulated unconsciously or whatever, and this is just kids. Yeah, I'm still smoking. Hope not for long. Not for long. Anyway, yeah, all the boys, not all, but many of them were really interested in her now, and I think that she liked the intention definitely, but it was totally superficial. They just wanted to touch and maybe do more. So we don't see the person that is standing in front of us if we have these masks or these perspectives, beliefs in front of our eyes, so to speak. It's like people, like what they focus on in this specific video is sexuality, is porno, po- porno, pornography, and it's the you know I think that the word lust has been misused as well, because there is natural sexual desires. You can be so sexual authentically, and that's not lust. There is a difference. There really is. And looking to people, or only wanting to connect with people because of what you can get, it's like unconscious or subconscious, it's behind the veil, so to speak. It's not something you show, but it's behind. It's the hidden intention to why. Because we want something, we want to experience something, we want that body on us. And there's nothing wrong at all with body love, but it's not really about right and wrong either. But it's like, imagine this, and there's nothing wrong with it, but it just is so superficial in a way. But it's also an experience, but like everything else is, so to speak. But imagine a beautiful girl only wanting to be with a boy if he is beautiful, and that's her criteria. Oh, he has to have money as well. So he has to be rich or have a lot of money, and he has to be beautiful. A lot of girls have dated men, been with men, have sex with men, been in relationships with men, only on like those criterias. And then on the other hand, I know this because I can feel into it, and I can remember also how it felt and so on. But so we have the boy. What does he want? Well, if they are in this fun match, I want to say fun, where it's like superficial in a way. He wants something that is beautiful and someone he can have, a lot of sex with, and that's just it, you know? And that's the deal they make. He provides, he does what he wants, you know? There are relationships out there that are based on this, maybe more than I actually know, okay? It's all about what we can get, how we see ourselves, what we believe about ourselves, okay? And they are not authentic. It doesn't mean at all that you don't. It doesn't mean that your preferred partner, it can still mean that your preferred partner is beautiful, that your preferred partner has money. You can have these intentions, like these preferences, but you can meet the love of your life. And of course, my dog wants to get out. I think I forgot where I came to, but maybe not. So it doesn't mean that, yeah, your preferences, but yeah, you can meet someone, and yeah, that's where I came to. There will be a natural attraction to them, okay? Mind, body, spirit, you know? So many people, by the way, are so beautiful in their own unique way, but there's also so many of them who don't believe that, and maybe they don't take care of themselves, maybe they think they're ugly, maybe they have this image of themselves of being ugly, so they dress as how they think, whatever. Too much makeup. I'm not a fan of makeup. I'm a fan. What I like about makeup is like details, okay? But cover up, it's too much. It's not about right and wrong, but there is like that they want to hide something. Oh no, I have this mark on my chin. Oh no, whatever. Oh no, someone have what's it called, bumps, and whatever. It can be anything, but that's where people have to learn to love themselves, love their body as it is, and they can change their body how it looks with affirmations, with working out, eating healthier, um, manifestation. Did I say that before? I don't know. Um, but truly, it's also about appreciating it is as it is. I used to be so shameful when my body was fat. Ironic, fat. No, it sounds nice in Danish. Doesn't matter. And then I had my spiritual awakening, and I started doing yoga, and I got fit, and I got thin and nice. But it was like with my awakening, self-realization, all that kind of stuff, you know, I gained weight again, and now it's like what I'm dealing with around it is like 15%. 15% of what I used to deal with, which was a kind of hell, you know? Shame, guilt, feeling ugly when I wasn't ugly, when my body wasn't ugly, you know? And I'm making these videos talking about myself, my experiences, what I've seen, all that kind of stuff. Not because of myself. Sometimes I admit it, or sometimes there's nothing to admit. But sometimes I listen, and I'm like, oh yeah, But I'm making this because people can think they're the only ones, and we are probably most likely never the only ones. No matter what you have think, no matter what you have thought, no matter what you think, feel, experienced, been through, done, regrets, the things you have done that you wish you haven't done, things you have experienced that you wish you haven't experienced, all that kind of stuff. No matter how bizarre or beautiful, you're not the only one. That's the biggest likelihood. So why? Well, why do people watch pornography? Well, I remember as a kid, as I said, there was curiosity. So that's natural for kids, you know? It's actually natural always, but to be curious about things we feel curious about. And the thing about sexual energy is like it feels so good no matter what, always, I guess. There's always this really good feeling underneath. Um, um, but, um, and yeah, I'm talking from my experience, okay? But I also know that when we get older, it's because of it can be different things. It can be loneliness, lack of intimacy, um, lack of self confidence. A lot of things mixed in. Um, I don't think any of us authentically would like spend addicting time on it, every day. There's nothing, again, it's not about right and wrong, but there's nothing wrong with exploring and trying things just to see. There's nothing wrong with doing something for a period and then dropping it. You know what I'm talking about right now, this subject. But there's nothing wrong, I'm using the word, there's nothing wrong with watching it and then stopping and then going back, because that's how it is sometimes in life. We have, like, there can be different moments, there can be different reasons to why we do it. But one example is if you feel implied, I think that is the right word, to do it. If you feel like you really want to do it, even when you're in a partnership, um, like it's not enough. I think perhaps that could be something you should look at. We can't put people into boxes. Um, Maybe authentically you don't want just one person. Um, like maybe you aren't ready, or maybe you never will be so-called ready. Maybe you never want to, you know. Um, but the thing it does, it can, especially when we do it a lot, is it can like I remember going on those sites and I can feel the energy of each video. I can feel how every single one of these girls are, how they are feeling, who they think they are, their signature, and the men as well. And well, there's a lot of videos where if we knew the truth, if we saw clearly, we wouldn't watch them. Okay. Um, from my own experience, what I know is that I would give every video away. I would give a million girls away. This is just so to speak, to have like the one partner. And that is me. I wished for the one partner since I was like young, very young, 10, 11, 12, And, it's the same now that I would much rather have someone to be with, to share myself with, to experience in real life than the superficiality of watching these videos. Now that I'm talking about that subject, I have explored, I have seen different things, um, because it felt like back then, it felt like, yeah, right, why not, but beneath it, beneath it, like, I know that if I had a girlfriend right now, I wouldn't watch it anymore. There will be no need, and if I felt a certain need, and I knew it wasn't because of the partner I was with, because I will not be with someone who I don't feel my heart says yes, my mind, body, spirit, whatever says yes to, It has to feel right. It has to be right, in if you know what I mean. And if it would still come up, then it's a past pattern, it's a past thing, and then it's like, why? Why? Intimacy. It's not something I have to go into because it's not something I'm experiencing and maybe I never will. Um, but I remember with my. No, okay. Um, um, I have to pause the video for a second there. There can be a natural desire to explore, to try something, whatever it may be. But what it does, pornography, what it does to a lot of young people, and now also they are adults, computers and internet is pretty new, you know. It is really like giving a false reality. Even though, I have to say this, even though some people live like it is reality, but I guess it's just the masks. And for a period of time, maybe years, I don't know, maybe a lifetime for some, I don't know. Maybe it can be fun. But we all know deep within, or just in the now, maybe, what we want and what we don't want. I know for myself that I don't want to have any masks on. I don't want to pretend, I don't want to act. It has to be in a fun, like in a conscious way, if it is like, because in a way we can say people are actors, but maybe they're not actually truly aware of that, behaving like someone else. But I think it's only natural that all of us just wants to be our true, authentic self. Since we were born, we have been told, this is what we do here, this is how we do things, this is who you are, this is the religion you are born into or not. If a father is a football fan, now he will do what he can to make you a football fan of the same team. But the thing is, we have to give the kids and ourselves now the room and space to allow ourselves to be ourselves. It's pretty much from generation to generation. It's like paste, copy, paste with some adjustments. You know, mother and father mixing, and together they are um, unconsciously projecting onto this kid, and now this kid is being raised by these kind of people, energies, with these behaviors and perspectives. And to the kid, to you, to me, some of them may make sense. Others, well, maybe you have asked a lot of questions. I know a lot of kids, people, grown ups now, have asked a lot of questions, but they were just told again and again, and maybe in a harsh way, that this is just how it is, and you say, yes, sir, okay, you know? And that's conditioning and adaptation, so to speak. We learn to adapt. Of course, again, as I said, certain ways we have to learn to adapt. We have to adapt to the world we are in. We have to be here. But it can be in our own way. And I would say that that is like um, the new earth is where people are being themselves. And of course, we have like these social uh, agreements that some of them have to change, maybe a lot of them. Um, but individually, we are not behaving as the other person just because the other person is doing it. We are not behaving, thinking, believing something just because someone we like or someone we know does or think or believe the same, you know? But there's always room to be ourselves and be with another, you know? I have paused the video a couple of times now and I have to stop it here. I'm not like entirely focused as I should be right now, but yeah, I hope you can use what you can use, whatever, you know, what resonates, if something makes sense, whatever, you know. um, I'm doing this to help, and yeah, what other people are hearing, how they see what I'm saying, whatever, maybe they can see it, maybe they can relate, maybe they can use it or not. But that's how it is with everything, I guess. Take care. Bye.